will truly make your head spin. John Ng from Maison Placements, he was interviewed during the week, and he said he can see gold hitting $2,000 in a fall spike. One thing that's in our newsletter, Harold, in Vietnam right now they have 22% inflation. Wonder why people are buying gold and silver and diamonds in India and China and Vietnam? When you have inflation at those levels, it's no surprise at all.
Oh, you better believe it. And again, and they seem to get it. We just don't seem to get it here. You know, in the United States, they're just living in a dream world. They just sit back and think that things are going to get better. And I just think that most people in the United States are almost in a state of depression at this point because, again, right in front of them, they see the government is going bankrupt, and there's nothing in the world that they could do about it. So it's a frightening situation. And, again, the markets are always going to let you know what's happening. The markets will respond in the proper way, and the trend is always your friend. So there's a reason why gold has gone from $250 to $1,650. There's a real strong reason for it, and there's a reason why it's going to continue to move, and the same thing for silver, and the same thing for diamonds. The last place I would want to have my money at this point is in stocks. Again, there's no basis for the stock market going up at this point, and again, it's almost laughable to think that the U.S. government is on the verge of bankruptcy, can't pay their debts, and the stock market is going up. In fact, the stock market, which was just down 100 points, is about to go positive. So go ahead and figure that one out. That's why I'm saying I don't put my money into those type of markets. I put my money into the markets that make sense and that are going to react to what the present situations are. And that's why we're in gold, silver, and diamonds.
One thing I'm very concerned of, granted, here I am a Canadian, very thankful to be born a Canadian, living in Canada, but seeing what's happening in the United States, I hope it doesn't happen here in Canada. You never know. That's why I think we really need to look out for ourselves, not rely on government. Rhode Island, a city there, is asking retirees to cut their pensions. The little town is called Central Falls, Rhode Island. It's taking a novel approach to try and avoid bankruptcy. The city is asking police and firefighter retirees to give up 50% of their pension. And basically the attitude is, according to the state-appointed receiver, either volunteer for a pension cut or risk losing it all. In fact, in Vallejo, California, the biggest U.S. city in bankruptcy, had won approval of a plan to exit court protection by cutting interest payments to banks and reducing benefits to retirees. We had this story in our newsletter last week. Bill Gross from PIMCO saying the U.S. has a $60 trillion net present value liability burden. And what they mean, they're on the hook for $60 trillion when it comes to Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security in combination in the United States. And Harold, that's my concern. We have about a minute left here. That's my concern. Governments, what do you do? If you were promised, let's say, $40,000 a year, and they come to you and say, we're only going to give you $20,000, and you're a senior, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go back to work? How are you going to live? These are the times that we live in, and it's very scary.
It is, and you've summed it up beautifully, Randy, because, again, there's a lot of people right now that are very, very concerned, and they should be. But, again, matters are out of their control. We need to keep things in our control. You need to take control of your financial situation and the way that you invest. And again, if you let the governments do it for you, we're going to end up in the exact same position as they are. 90% of the money is made by 10% of the people. It's imperative that we're in that 10%.
Thank you very much, Harold Siegel. Have a fantastic weekend.
Thank you very much. It's a long weekend in Canada. I wish everybody a very wonderful weekend and a very profitable day.
Yes, I hope everyone has a great long weekend, too, to invest in precious metals. Only one company Harold recommends. They are a Canadian company. That's who you want to deal with, not somebody from elsewhere, the United States or Ireland or England or Australia, wherever. Deal with a Canadian company, Worldwide Precious Metals. WWPMC.com, WWPMC.com. The website, telephone number, 1-866-623-2002. Speak with Harold about diamonds. It's one of those imperative investments in the times that we live in. RareColoredDiamonds.com. The telephone number 1-800-432-1022. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.